I've never really been far away from the world of racehorses. In that sense, I'm a fully paid up member of the secret society. The racing fraternity gathers each morning on stud farms and at training tracks where normal people are still in bed. It's a fellowship with its own language and humour and an unwritten code of rules. Dinner table conversations at home were dominated by horses, and photographs of the noble beasts looked down upon the family from the walls. From the back door of the farmhouse, you smelled soiled straw and fresh hay. Les Carline reminded me that racehorse owners are different. Most of them have an engineer's sense of precision, a mind that gravitates towards the objective and the rational. They like to bring order and reason to complex matters. Horse people are seldom like that. We can be rational and pragmatic too, but we tend to rank those things behind matters of the heart. To be good in our game, you need a touch of the mystic and the artist, which is right enough, because we're in the racehorse business, and racing is seldom scientific. Thoroughbreds do things machines can't. They're crafted, not manufactured. If you witness Brian Joffe's embrace of Mike de Kock following the Shay Shay massacre in Dubai, you'll know what I mean.
Now Shay Shay delivering his charge, and right down the outside is Mr. Big. Shay Shay moves up to Joy and Fun and Eagle Regiment. Shay Shay takes the lead. Shay Shay wins the Elgo sprint.
It's a sensation that you just cannot explain to anybody. I mean, it's not like winning yourself. It's even more special than your grandson winning his first race. It's just an amazing thing.
Big deals make big men excited, but racehorses turn big men into little boys. I know things in the breeding world have been tough the past few years, but if you've survived till now, you're going to be fine. Trying to predict the future is like trying to predict the weather. You can't let the last storm impact the way you think. Besides, the worm has definitely turned. You can feel it at racehorse sales the world over. Last November, the Emperor's Palace Ready to Run posted its 4th consecutive record. When we initiated this event with our good friend Chris Smith 26 years ago, we held the cocktail party under the old oak tree outside the farm office. It was historic for the fact that it was the first sale of its kind in the Southern Hemisphere. 20 turned up. 6 from the farm, 6 from the sales company, 6 customers, 2 children. Who would have thought that a quarter of a century on, the welcome address to a packed audience in the palatial gardens of the sponsors' grounds would open with Their Majesties King Letsia and Queen Masnate and Her Serene Highness Princess Charlene. At a time when many of my contemporaries are winding down, we're gearing up for the next chapter. This is a game you can play to the grave. Right now, South Africa is on the cusp of a scientific breakthrough with its export protocols. That and Mike de Kock's Annus Mirabilis in Dubai will be the game changers.
Soft falling rain alongside Harthek. He puts his head in front. Soft falling rain is drawing clear. Soft falling rain has won the Godolphin Mile. from Harthneck and Barbecue Ed on the grandstand rail, and the South African goes for home, says goodbye. Spirits Courts battling on, Soul Power coming late, but Shay, the real Shay today, with the Apaches holding City Style, and the Apaches won, the Apache first, soft falling rain. South Africa's number 1, 2 years old, will lead all of the way. Weight didn't matter. Pastel, soft falling rain, much too good. Bushwreckers burst to the front, raced away. Agrasu Falls battling on with Master of Hounds, but Bushwrecker big winner, Bushwreck first.
There is an exuberance to stallions which I can't explain. I know the 5 senses well, but there is nothing to match the thrill of knowing you've got your hands on a gem.
The trick is to keep calm and book a test drive.
Which leads me to my point. There are moments in the horse game you never forget. One of those was the running of Ireland's Kilternan Stakes 2 years ago.
Racing in the Kilternan Stakes.
Southeaster and Await the Dawn racing now towards the 3 mark.
Await the Dawn takes it up and goes to the lead.
Await the Dawn just hits the front from Southeaster, and now Await the Dawn, who's stretched on a few lengths clear.
And then Rose Hippet with a furlong and a half to race. Await the Dawn and Johnny Murtha have a 4-length lead.
But Await the Dawn has gone beyond recall and well clear and running up towards the finish. Await the Dawn will win the Kilternan Stakes for Johnny Murtha and Aidan O'Brien.
My curiosity was pricked by the sight of an unknown youngster demolishing a group class field by 9 lengths. Not so much for the fact that he might one day find his way to Summerhill, but because it appeared to herald the dawn of a new international star. He repeated the dose at Chester on his next start, decimating his foes in the way Usain Bolt would exit a bunch of neighbourhood joggers.
2 furlongs left to cover. Await the Dawn now joining Distant Memories as they turn into the home straight. Await the Dawn on the left, and Await the Dawn strikes the front now with a furlong left to travel here. And Await the Dawn draws clear in handsome fashion to win the Huxley. He looks a touch of class, this horse.
Racing can be an emotional journey. It is always yearning for a hero.
This day seemed like an overture. It was. The opera took its form a month later. Await the Dawn had kept his best for the Queen. As one who'd lived on a diet of the boys in blue, Dubai Millennium, Dubawi and the like, for the first time in 20 years, I felt my loyalty shift. Here was an opponent I could love.
Here's Await the Dawn, pulled on for an effort now by Ryan Moore, and Await the Dawn on the outside. Grabs the lead now from Harris Queen. They're about 3 lengths clear then of the chasing pack, but Await the Dawn is 2 lengths in front with a half furlong left to go. Punched right out by Ryan Moore. This is another big winner for Ryan Moore, and it's Moore and Hughes 1-2 once again, and right to the line. Await the Dawn.
The only letdown was that he eased up to win by 3 when the heroic gesture would have been a display of galloping prowess rarely seen on a racecourse. It should have been, and it would have been heroic.
But then Await the Dawn wasn't just a hero. He was a star. Fate then dealt us a generous hand. It's a sad statement about the value of our currency that we're unable to compete for the world's most accomplished stallion prospects. We occasionally have to prosper through the adversity of others.
A life-threatening illness put a line under the horse's career. Unfulfilled promise becomes the kiss of death in circumstances like these. And suddenly, he's a possibility for the Summerhill paddocks. We weren't alone in our belief that in Await the Dawn, we'd seen one of Europe's best middle distance performers of his generation.
The world's most respected rating agency declared him a Group 1 winner in waiting. But the only ones waiting now are those of us who look forward to his second coming.
The fellows in our stallion barn have long sung the virtues of brave tin soldier. A world record priced foal, an elite juvenile, and a top-notch group quality miler, the Pope combines 2-year-old class with a classic heritage.
A rally from Kiss the Kid on the outside, but here comes Brave Tin Soldier. Brave Tin Soldier, frontal lunge on the outside. Brave Tin Soldier, Brave Tin Soldier! Up in time for Carlos Marquez Jr. in a cliffhanger.
Despite the intensity of the competition, nobody here was surprised to see him top the first crop sires averages at the National Yearling Sale.
If they run like they look, who is going to control the noise?
One of the most persuasive reasons for using Visionaire in his third season comes from our fellow breeders. They've seen the foals, and they send him 100 choice mares because of them. But they've also seen the movie, and they know the horse. Don't be fooled by the muscular curves of his engine. When he straightened for the Lion and the King's Bishop, he motored home like few other horses in the great race's history.
Sometimes you just have to grab the keys and run.
Visionaire has run by the entire field. He was 10 lengths behind him entering the far turn, and on the wire, Visionaire with a dramatic Lex the first win.
One thing we've learnt in this business is nothing is impossible. Miracles just take a bit longer.
30 years ago, with little but hope on our side, we bought ourselves a cripple. But Northern Guest refused to play the invalid. He became the Southern Hemisphere's most celebrated son of the greatest stallion the world had ever known. Now, we have to believe that in our present assembly, our stallion barn has never been better served in the quality of its incumbents. It seems the legacy of Sadler's Wells will live on principally through the influences of Galileo, Monsieur, and the remarkable High Chaparral. It may seem impudent to compare anything with the immortality of Sadler's Wells, but it's a fact that High Chaparral is the only stallion since his father to get 6 Group 1 winners from his first year at stud, as well as an Australian Triple Crown King this season.
And they're off and racing. Kitewood is one of the first to show, along with the white face of Golden Sword. See the stars.
We all know what Mike de Kock had to say about his best performed Northern Hemisphere product, Golden Sword.
He led the English Derby till about a furlong from home, with the likes of See the Stars in it.
Golden Sword kicks for home, and now the derby is up for grabs. Golden Sword being gathered in by See the Stars. See the Stars will complete the Guinness and Derby double.
He ran second in the Irish Derby to Fame and Glory, and the form speaks for itself. When one thinks of the two top horses that beat him. In fact, without Fame and Glory there, he would have been the Derby winner.
Takes it back. Golden Sword to the outside, one of the first away. Dean jumped to the left.
That year in Dubai, he was one of the most talented individuals I had in the stable. He's the track record holder over 2,000 metres. Golden Sword is still the current track record holder at Maidan.
Here comes Golden Sword on the outside. Eavesdropper back to the inside, but Golden Sword hits the front. Short of 200 metres left to go. Golden Sword clear, 100 metres left to run. They won't catch Golden Sword. Golden Sword first.
He served a royal book of mares in his inaugural season. A tribute, no doubt, to the fact that in 18 years of World Cup history, none of the winners of the world's richest race have covered the 2,000-metre trip quicker than he did.
Not Dubai Millennium, not Cigar, not Street Cry. Kipling taught us to trust ourselves when others doubt us. And this time last year, some of us had already forgotten that Mullins Bay was not a precocious 2-year-old. That he's rocketed to the head of a formidable lineup of contemporaries, Stronghold, Trippy, Black Minilush and King of Kings, by the earnings of his individual runners, is a salute to patience. To the exploits of a filly whose victims while she was unbeaten included the Group 1 Queen Blue Ridge Mountain, and to Gittiano, who's within a stride or two of the best of his generation.
KwaZulu-Natal Breeders' Million Mile. Runners dispatched from the 1600 metre marker, trying to run on Romantic Ballad here, but Distinguished continues to go. King Neptune, Love Struck comes under pressure. Festival of Fires down the inside, Koi Boy's running on, and also Gittiano's getting into the race. It's wide open, but it's now Gittiano hit the front. Corridor and Koi Boy coming home hard, but Gittiano's going to win it.
And now, he has a trio of the country's leading juveniles in his second crop. Another who did not race at 2 is AP Arrow, who turned out the best racing son of the best American stallion worldwide in 2009.
This stand, full bore, inching his way up to the far outside, down to the final furlong they come. AP Arrow's on the inside with a nose. Grasshead trailing on the outside. AP Arrow just there for Grasshead. AP Arrow, Grasshead, AP Arrow.
While it is so that he already has a black-type juvenile in his first crop, the best of them are in some of the best yards in the land. And the best is yet to come. It is one of the truisms of the AP Indies that they get better with age. And they get better with distance.
Hell, man. They just get better.
If there's one thing racing fans like more than a fairy tale ending, it's a great comeback. A while ago, the once famous Halo male line looked headed for extinction. Out of the blue, Sunday Silence and More Than Ready have delivered a valedictory flourish to a strain that had been ebbing away for the best part of 3 decades. Right now, nothing is more current, more fashionable, or more desirable in a stallion lineup than a son of one of these two sires.
That Admire Main and Traffic Guard are part of our show is an acknowledgement of the value of relationships. Our customers span 22 time zones from Japan to the United States, and it's thanks to our good friends, the Yoshidas and Dr. Jim Hay, that these two fine racehorses are here.
Admire Main was a cracking racehorse. We all know that. Second best of his classic generation. But siring quality juveniles was not on his radar. Keen bloodstock students were always content to wait for his first progeny to turn 3. With 10 winners from 14 runners, 3 in stakes class from 800 to 2,000 metres, all their predictions were turned upside down.
But then they remind us, he's the son of Sunday Silence.
Speed, heart, conformation. These are the trademarks of the best racehorses. For Traffic Guard, though, it was all in the family. A precocious, unbeaten juvenile, he carried his speed to the distance of the July.
They head up the home straight towards the final couple. Warringah has come through in the centre with a white face setter just about edge on, but Traffic Guard is right with him, and Traffic Guard now claiming the lead towards the final furlong and a half. It's Traffic Guard heads inside the final furlong with a widening lead over the others. Warringah can't do anything about it in second, and Traffic Guard have run out an impressive winner of the August Stakes. Traffic Guard the winner for Paul Cole and Martin Dwyer.
He carried his class to within a half length of the world's best 3-year-old New Approach in a Group 1, and he carries the blood of one of the world's sexiest sirelines.
What else could a woman want?
Racing round the home turn now, and Red Rock Canyon on the inside. New Approach the stand side, Morswells and Multidimensional just in behind, then Traffic Guard. They're inside the last 200 yards. New Approach, Multidimensional, Morswells, Traffic Guard putting in an effort on the outside, but it's New Approach from Traffic Guard as they race up towards the finish. It's New Approach, and Kevin Manny is going to win the tennis.
Any racing fan worth his salt knows the Australian star, Black Caviar.
And this fantastic mare has now won 22 races in a row.
Grandstands and bars bear her name, some as far afield as England. Her granddad was the Regal Racehorse Royal Academy, whose glittering stud career left close to 170 stakes winners, 27 of them at the highest level. The search among studmen for that elusive beast with speed, substance and superior genes is never-ending. And as a sales-topping dual Group 1 winner by Royal Academy at 6 furlongs and a mile, Atto is the complete package.
Atto is into the clear, running on strongly down the outside. Atto goes up to Gingerbread Man, Nandara chase me down the outside. Gingerbread Man and Atto. Atto the outside, Gingerbread Man, Nandara over on the fence, but Atto pokes his nose in front. Nandara kicks back, but Atto takes out the patrons.
His 6-length annihilation of globe-trotting Krypton Factor, hot off his own crowning moment in the world's richest sprint, was the final act for a tribe celebrated in South Africa by the champion stallions Silvano and Dancing Champ.
Racing in the 2012 Chris Flyer and Yinzing.
Maybe the search stops right here.
Atto got to second, Mr. Big, hard written to third. Better Be the One goes up 3 wide, followed by Atto, Captain Obvious. Making ground, Secret Asset over towards the inside from Perfect Pins, Krypton Factor, and Invincible Ashes last of all over on the fence. 300 metres to go, Mr. Big is the leader, about a half length over Atto coming on strong. Then Secret Asset, followed by Captain Obvious. Krypton Factor down the outside, but Atto out of the middle goes up with Mr. Big. Secret Asset running on, but Atto finds the front for Power through Newbury Racing, and Atto's going to take out the first flyer.
What an ending. What was not ended. I mean, we're only just beginning.
Moments like this is what it's all about.
Exactly.
You know, to win a race like this is really one of the big things.
When they passed him, he only waits for them to get past, and then he starts to come back at them.
We've always said that Summerhill is what it is today because our people have shaped their own destinies. History has not been kind to those who entrench the past, but almost always smiles on those who embrace the future.
The acquisition of Await the Dawn is an epic in the annals of our sport. For the first time, members of our disadvantaged community have got skin in the game. The generosity of a like-minded banker has put them in the box seat for another industry revolution. For the sake of the sport and his connections, it would have been better if the horse had played to the full extent of his repertoire. Racing, though, has never relied on the aesthetic. The primeval struggle is its essence.
It is a contest, not a ballet.
Beauty is the byproduct, not the aim.
Racing's been good to Cheryl and me, and it's been good to the greater Summerhill family. It's taken us to faraway lands, and it's made us many close friends. It's taken us to the mountaintop, a modern record of 8 consecutive times, and it sat us down with the Queen of England. Importantly, it's shown us that kids from the sticks like us can make a name for themselves from nothing, and sometimes aspire to excellence. Above all, it's taught us that you only live once. But if you do it right, once is enough.